Oh, oopsies. Well, now there's probably a huge dent in it, so I don't know if I will be able to sell it. Oh well. Hello, my sweet angels, it's your girl Jay, and today I am here with a book on haul. I have about 20 books. Honestly, I didn't count, so I'm not 100% sure. I want to say like 17, but these are all books that I have either read and gave a 3-star or lower, or have duplicate copies of. And you know, we moved into a new house. I don't have all the space in the world here, so we're gonna get rid of some of these books. So without further ado, let us get started. Okay, the first 3 I kind of really don't want to get rid of, but I found copies of these books on Facebook Marketplace for a total of $15 for all 3 of them. They are Nevernight, God's Grave, and Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff. So these are the original copies that I had. If you guys watched my like reorganization library videos, then you would have seen that this drives me crazy, that it is a hardback and then a paperback, and it's not the same and a hardcover, right? She was selling all 3 of the books for $15, and they were all signed editions. So I now have the Nevernight Chronicles, which is one of my favorite series of all time. I have them all hardback, all signed, and I'm getting rid of my original copies because she didn't want to separate them, and I wasn't just going to buy God's Grave because she wouldn't separate them, so I just bought them all. I'm gonna sell these ones, so hopefully I make back my $15, but if I don't, it's not the end of the world. The next book I have, I bought a hardcover copy of it, and this is the ARC version. It is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. Like I said, ARC version. I don't need the ARC and the hardcover. All of my other books in this series I have as hardcovers. I've also never picked these books up yet. I only like previously finished the Mortal Instruments series, so I do need to start the other books in her world because I'm a little behind. Then I have This Poison Heart. This is by Callan Bayron. I read this book, really loved it, but this is the ARC version. I found the finished copy of it in my thrift store for $2, so I am getting rid of the ARC version because I don't need the ARC and the finished copy. Then we have The School for Good and Evil. This is by Soman Chanani. This is a hardcover. I have the rest of the series in paperback, so I found a paperback version of it so that they would all match on my shelves. This is another one that I showcased on the library reorganization video and how annoyed I was by this. There are also 3 other ones that are the same deal. So it's Divergent by Veronica Roth. This is the movie tie-in version, and all my other ones are hardcovers. So I found a hardcover of the original covers, so now they all match. And then Game by Barry Lyga. This is the second book in the I Hunt Killers trilogy by Barry Lyga, and I have all of them in paperback. This is a hardcover, found it at the thrift store, so now they all match. And then the last one that falls into this category is Iron Flower by Laurie Forrest. This is the second book in the Black Witch series. It is now, I think, like 5 or 6 books. I've only read the first and the second one. I need to do a reread because I do not remember half of the things that happened. I do remember I gave it a 5 stars. Will that hold up? We'll see. But I now have a hardcover of it to match my other books. I still need to find The Black Witch in a hardcover because I have it in like a tiny little paperback and it drives me crazy. Eventually, maybe one day, it will be at the thrift store. We'll see. I lied straight to your face. I also have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Same thing, I had hardcovers of the rest of the series. This is the paperback, so I found a hardcover at the thrift store and lied straight to your face again because another one. This is The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and this is another one. I had the hardcover of the second book, had the paperback of the first book, but I found it in a hardcover at the thrift store. I also don't remember a single thing of this book. I believe I only gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. I do need to reread before I actually start the second book because, like I said, no clue, no memories. I don't know. I read it in like 2018 or something when it first came out, so I don't know. I may have lied straight to your face once again. This one I feel like is in a kind of different category because the publisher sent me a finished copy, so it's not the same as buying it at the thrift store. But it is When Javi Dumped Mari. This is by Mia Sosa. This is the ARC version of it. They sent me a finished copy of it, so I don't need the ARC copy. But again, different category. I feel like I didn't lie to you that bad that time. might have lied again, but not really, because this is another different category because I did not get it from the thrift store. I got it from the little library at my work. This is Pretty Baby by Mary Kubica. This is my copy of it. It is tiny. This is another one that was featured on my library reorganization video. I don't understand why publishers make so many different sizes of books by the same author. Just make them all uniform, okay? But this is my old copy. I found a copy that matches all the other Mary Kubica books that I have, the same height. So I traded it. This one's going to go replace the one that I took from the little library. Then I have The Rose Society by Mary Lou. This one, apparently, while I was unpacking all of my books in the new house, I realized I have 2 copies of this book. I don't know why. I must have been shopping at the thrift store and been like, I don't have that one. Joke's on old me. I do have this one. So I'm getting rid of 1 copy because I don't need 2 of them. The next one is another one that the publisher sent me 2 copies of the same book, and not even like an ARC version and a final copy. It just, they sent me 2 of the same book within like days. So I don't know if somebody was packing like orders and then didn't realize that they already had packed this package, but I got Tripping Over You by Susanna Harcum and Owena White. I have another copy of this, so this is just going to go to the little library, but it does look really stinking cute. It's about 2 boys who go to a school and they're very unlikely companions, and then they fall in love. It's been comped to Heartstopper, so I am very intrigued to read it. I think it sounds really, really cute. Then, same deal. 2 copies of the same book, Book of Tarot. I'm only getting rid of 1. I just have 2 in my pile, but 1 is going to go to the little library because we always need kid books, and then the other one's gonna go on my shelf. They were both in my UNHAUL pile, but this one's gonna go into my haul pile. But this is by Kristen Witt, and it's illustrated by Margarita Kutikana. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's just like a simple version of tarot cards and what they mean. So that's fun. We can get children into tarot real early. Then I have The Bride Test by Helen Huang. I don't know why I have 2 copies. I must have picked one up at the thrift store. So I have this one, and then I also have one that's on my shelves. So again, I don't need 2 copies of the same book. I did really like this book though, so I will probably be putting it onto the little library so somebody else can enjoy. The rest of the 7 books that I have are all ones that I have read. This one I still honestly don't know if I am going to get rid of because they hold like a special place in my heart, but I also don't know if I will ever reread them or if I would enjoy them if I did reread them. But it is the Anna and the French Kiss trilogy, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and then Isla and Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. Like I said, I don't know if I want to get rid of them, but when I read them, I really loved them, but I was also like 16. And I feel like, because I know the plot of at least this first one, I'd probably hate it today. So I actually do kind of want to do a reread just to see, to like solidify my thoughts. But let me know if you would want to see that, because I could do a vlog and kind of give my actual thoughts and feelings while I read the trilogy, kind of like how I did it with Harry Potter, except I never finished that series because certain someone is not a nice lady anymore. So I have not actually ever finished the Harry Potter series because I refuse. But let me know if you would want this. I'll just put it to the side and we'll see what everybody says. The last 4 books here are all ones that I read and gave 3 stars or less. The rule on my shelves are, if you give a book 3 stars or less, it must either be sold or given to the thrift store, or now that I have this little library, put on the little library. So the first one is Where You See Yourself by Claire Forrest. I gave this a 3-star. It was cute. I'm never ever going to reread it, and the representation is really good in it. So I feel like somebody else should have the opportunity to read it rather than it just collect dust on my shelf. So that one's probably gonna go to the little library. Then I have Run Away With Me by Brian Selznick. And this one, I gave like a 2, maybe a 2.5, but this one was so boring, which is really disappointing because I feel like it could have been like a really beautiful story, and I'm sure it is, but I was falling asleep half the time. Half of the book is also just pictures, like literally here to here is all pictures, right? And then this is the only actual like writing portion. That's it. Then this is all pictures again. So more than half of this book is just pictures. And she's like a hefty book. Like I could hurt somebody if I hit them with this. And it's so gorgeous naked that it's like really upsetting that it is not staying on my shelf, but it's just gonna collect dust. So it's gotta go. Then I have Under the Neon Lights. This is by Ariel Vinson, and this one I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. It's a novel in verse. It's all about like gentrification and falling in love for the first time, a mix of that. So 2 very different topics, but I just know I'm never gonna reread it now that I've read it for the first time. So it is going to go to the little library because it is a ARC. And then the final book that I have, I gave a 3, which I was really disappointed in because I'm obsessed with this cover. I think it's so gorgeous, but it is I Am the Swarm by Haley Chewins. I think I am too stupid for this book, honestly. It is another one written in verse. It's about a girl whose family is magical and they all have different abilities, and hers comes out in the form of bugs representing her emotions. So like when she's angry, wasps come out of her, and then when she's happy, little butterflies come out of her, that kind of thing. And the imagery is gorgeous. I just think that I did not appreciate it enough. I want someone else to appreciate it, even though the cover, I'm obsessed and I would love to keep it on my shelves. It needs to go to a better home. All right, everybody. So those were the however number of books that was Editing J. If you really want to, you can count it, but I know you as a person and you probably won't. So if you're watching this, feel free to leave it in the comments how many books that was. I want to say like 17, but your girl can't do math, so who knows? Let me know down below if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. And also let me know if you want me to do a vlog of this, because I'll do it. I'll do it. All right, I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye.